Hi, I'm Jalpa Vithalani. I'm the managing director of this rose farm, where we're also growing a lot of organic vegetables, and the vice president of Western India Floriculture Association. It's amazing how many people at the farm, how many labor have experienced a session, and slowly and steadily, I think the story has moved on, and I have many people from the neighboring villages coming in for sessions. And what's beautiful is that they're coming with such a sense of openness and allowing that the true gift of the healing is unfolding magically so. And so many of them come back to share their experiences. I've never practiced any other form of healing, and I'm always at home with the frequencies, whether it's on plants, whether it's on the animals, or on people. Reconnective healing is truly a way of life. It's getting a human upgrade. It's like buying the best Mac or iPhone, like just upgrading your operating system and then allowing new experiences and new pathways to unfold in life. We have a lot of young girls and young people coming from the neighboring villages to work at this farm, and it's amazing as to how many of them have experienced the frequencies. So welcome to Global Agri-Tech, and allow me to journey you through this beautiful rose farm which has been started from ground up. Every little plant and tree has been planted over here, so it's like having millions and millions of babies. And I use the reconnective healing frequencies on all the plants, animals and people from the neighboring areas as they come into the farm.
हम जहाँ यहाँ काम करते हैं, हमारे साथ 100 लेबर्स यहाँ काम कर रहे हैं, लेकिन जब भी किसी लेबर्स को प्रॉब्लम्स होता है, कुछ परेशानी होते हैं, तो हमें यहाँ बताते आके कि मैडम आने के बाद बताओ। तो मैडम जब भी विज़िट करते हैं तो प्लांट्स के ऊपर भी रिकनेक्टिंग हीलिंग होता है, और जो भी कुछ परेशानी वर्कर्स के लेबर्स के होते हैं उनके ऊपर भी वो हीलिंग करते हैं। तो बहुत से लेबर्स खुश है, बहुत को इफेक्ट मिल रहा है, बहुत से खुश है हीलिंग के वजह से, उनकी तबीयत में सुधार है। इट्स अ वेरी good type of energy.
And I always explain to the people that this is unconditional, and the practitioner's role is to actually open the door and allow the person to walk through. The practitioner and the client are both in receiving mode in this healing. It's a homecoming. It's almost like I feel I've always been doing this, and not just for now but for many lifetimes. And the healings are happening all the time. It's almost a reality, and it's a part of life. And whether it's long distance sessions, when you're driving on the road and you suddenly see somebody maybe is in an accident, an animal needs a session, the plants, the flowers, people.
बहुत बीमार थी मैं सिंस 2008 से मैं बीमार थी. आई हैड सम स्किन अँड जॉइंट्स प्रॉब्लेम. आय कुड नॉट वॉक ॲट ऑल. डॉक्टरचं म्हणणं होतं की हा स्किन आणि बोन्स हे दोन्ही डर्मटॉलॉजिस्ट प्रॉब्लेम होता. ते काही शेवटपर्यंत त्यांच्या लक्षात नाही आलं, आणि नंतर तर त्यांनी सांगितलं की ह्याच्यावर ट्रीटमेंट पण नाही आहे. मी हिंदुजालासुद्धा जाऊन आले होते मुंबईला, पण तिथे मॅडमचं सांगणं होतं की जे स्टिरॉइड आम्ही घेत होते पुण्यात तेच कंटिन्यू करायचे होते, कारण म्हणे हे काही क्युअर होणार नाही डिसीज. पण त्याच्यानंतर मग मी स्टिरॉइड बंद केले, पण कनेक्टिव्ह हिलिंगनी तर फारच बरं वाटलं मला. पण मग हिलिंगनी अचानक म्हणजे माझ्या डोळ्यातनं अश्रू यायला लागले, आणि त्यातच मला छान झोप लागली, आणि फार आनंद झाला मला की आज 6-7 महिने जी मला झोप नव्हती ती मला झोप यायला लागली. आता एकदम व्यवस्थित चालू शकते. मी 4-4 किलोमीटर चालते, आणि चेहऱ्यावर जे पिगमेंटेशन होतं ते फार हळूहळू कमी होऊन पूर्ण गेलेलं आहे आता.
Reconnective healing allows us the opportunity to reconnect to the fullness of ourselves, the planet Earth, the universe, and much more.
तो मेरा बच्चा 11 साल का था, उसको सर का और आँख का तकलीफ था। जब पढ़ाई करने लगता था मेरा लड़का, जब लाइट का बल्ब चालू करने के बाद वो आँखों को रोशनी को तकलीफ होता था, डायरेक्ट सनलाइट ऐसा दिखाई नहीं देता था। फिर बाद में हमारे मैडम जी से बात करके उसको मैं लेके आया उनके पास। उसको एक ही हीलिंग में इतना फर्क गिर गया ना, तो उसको अभी दोबारा लाने को ज़रूरत नहीं है। वो आराम से सर्विस कर रहा है, सब कुछ दिखाई दिखाई सब कुछ एकदम परफेक्ट है।
I experience a 0 point each time that I'm at the farm, when I'm creating a piece of art, or when I'm in a reconnective healing session. This trinity with the art, the healings and the farm is a part of my path, and that is a knowing. Thank you for joining me today and allowing me to share my journey with Reconnective Healing. I'm an artist and I've also started a rose farm from ground up in 1998. When I met Dr. Pearl, it was in knowing that I had to do this work, and ever since I've become a practitioner, my own life has transformed 180 degrees. I have experienced shifts at every level, whether it's mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, financial. And this beautiful gallery which you see has also birthed after I've done my reconnection and the reconnective healing. In fact, the gallery birthed in a dream, and I got complete direction from the universe on the name, the space, the logo, and so many other things. The reason I'm sharing this is many pathways open up for many people, and this is also something that I've heard from many of the people whom I've practiced the sessions on. I have done reconnection and reconnective healing with Jalpa. It has been one of the most magical experiences for me because she came into my life at a time when I was stuck on many phases, primarily being my divorce. And after we did the modality of reconnection and reconnective healing, things just moved like that in a snap, lightning speed, so to say. Everything aligned. Things went peacefully, a lot peacefully than what they could have been. So at the end of the day, the divorce came in pretty smoothly. I got a lot of immense support from my family and my friends, and even this house that has come my way is a part of the settlement, and it was something that was a cause for concern during that time. And even on my professional sphere, things just moved so fast. I moved jobs, switched from being just an editor with one of the magazines, international magazines, to becoming the group business director for one of the premier digital agencies in India. And then now I've moved on to become the vice president of indie design. And things have just like moved at a lightning speed and for the better. And the beautiful part of it is that it's all come with a lot of support and love from family, from friends, from co-workers, all the spheres of my life. I'm really blessed. Thank you, Jalpa.
Hi, I'm Arpita and I did the reconnective healing with Jalpa. And before I did the reconnective healing, my relationship with my father was not the best. But after I did the reconnective healing, my dad just came up with this impromptu plan to go to Leh Ladakh, and we ended up spending like amazing time with each other. And I realized that I have a very different relationship with my father once I did the reconnective healing, so it's really been very miraculous. Thank you, Jalpa.
The practitioner is also in receiving mode. In fact, it's a field effect where you have the field, that's the universal source, the practitioner and the client which is lying on the bed. When anyone walks into the gallery as well, I always invite them to experience and feel the reconnective healing frequencies. So many people have been activated, and later they can always choose, and so many of them come back to experience the sessions.
I met Jalpa in 2013. I was on an assignment for a European airline company, and they wanted, I was there to write some articles, and I got in touch with Jalpa about her gallery. And whilst I interviewed her about the gallery, she told me about the frequencies, and I thought, wow, that sounds interesting. I want to know more about it. And she says, well, do you have time tomorrow? Then come back. And that's exactly what I did. I came back the other day, and she gave me a healing. And that first healing was amazing. I saw colors. Yeah, it was just a beautiful experience to be in the gallery, feel the energy. So I came back the other day as well for the second in the series of 3. And I said, well, I have to go back to the Netherlands. But Jalpa said, well, we can do it long distance as well. I said, okay, cool. So on the 21st of June, the longest day, we had another session. I was in the Netherlands and Jalpa was in India. And I still remember that I asked her, I said, Jalpa, how do I know that you're done? And she says, well, you'll know. And that was exactly what happened. I saw beautiful pictures of me, fairy tale-like. And I still remember that I really felt the energy coming in and that our connection came into existence. And I also felt it, that I thought, okay, now she's done. So that in itself, feeling the energy when we were connected and when it was done was in itself a beautiful experience to me. It was a year later in 2014 that I met my twin flame, who opened up everything, every aspect of me, if you talk about senses, which was absolutely amazing. It was for me also kind of a wake-up call that I was able to experience and to, I was ready for that. And I am absolutely positive because of the sessions with Jalpa. So in December of that year, I decided to go back to Mumbai for the Reconnective Healing. And the Reconnective Healing in itself wasn't, mind-blowing, but after that, my whole life has changed. For the good. I absolutely say for the good. I realized in June 2015 that my relationship was over. I saw very, very clear pictures that our journey, how great it had been, had come to an end, and I decided to move on. And it was a beautiful way to get separated from love, with love, and in love. And I remembered that I made a promise to myself in 2000 years ago, that I would, if I would ever be single again, I would visit my study friend Mark, whom I met in Stellenbosch when I was an exchange student. And I sent him an email. I said, Mark, I made a promise to myself and I would love to see you again. Are you up for it? And he said, yeah, sure. So in November last year, I flew to South Africa to see him. And he said, why are you here? I said, I don't know. I don't know yet. But I know I had to do this. I had to come. And we discovered that we loved one another, that we love one another, but we also loved one another already 16 years before that. And we had never, ever forgotten about one another. And I stayed a week that was amazing. And then I went and I started to travel and learn more about myself, my life, my journey in life, and about love. And that love is the path, and that I wanted to walk it. And in the months thereafter, Mark and I were very closely in touch, and I decided to live my dream and move to South Africa. But it has been an amazing journey, and it has been tough, it has been wonderful, it has been beautiful, it has been sad. It has been everything, but it's been so worthwhile. So I am really, really looking forward to the journey that's ahead of me. And I would absolutely want to thank Jalpa for what she's done with her frequency sessions and the reconnective healing, but because I'm positive that it has contributed tremendously to my life.
Reconnective healing is shown to restructure your DNA and bring about a shift at a cellular level. Many new life experiences open up, and this helps us to connect to the fullness and to the wholeness of our own selves.
My body was jerking a lot throughout the session, primarily my womb area, or I would say my solar plex region. I felt it very strongly there.
At the beginning of the session, I got a very clear message: surrender and see the magic. As I went through, I saw different colors. I felt weightless. I thought I was floating, and I smiled. Towards the end, I saw a glimpse of a man with a chiseled face. It was a fleeting glance, but yes, I'd like to know who he is.
Each time I'm doing a reconnective healing or a reconnection, I think I experience a space of nothingness. And in that space, it's just perfect. Whether it's creating an artwork, whether I'm at the farm or I'm in a session. The common thread here is the space of nothingness.
The energy in the space is extremely intense and very powerful. This whole space has a very beautiful feel to it, and I hope many people out there do come forward and experience these healing sessions.
Initially, when I started doing the sessions, I used to think I'm going to start journaling. But then I realized this is just a way of life, and every day we are witnessing and experiencing miracles and shifts in so many people's lives around us. Reconnective healing has truly transformed the lives of everyone who's come into our space.
I've always been extremely attracted to sacred geometry, and I've sensed that some major work was being done on me. There were some twitches, changes in temperature, and I felt the presence of the angels and the masters all through. After these 3 sessions, some amazing shifts have happened in the 3 weeks. Firstly, I've always nurtured a desire to start my own teacher training academy, and I've approached several people in the past, but it hasn't materialized. After this reconnective healing, I met a certain gentleman who also wants to start a teacher training academy and is looking for a thought provider. It fitted like a glove. So it's just happened for me, and that's so amazing. So I think it was a very happy experience for me. And thank you, Jalpa. Thank you so much.
I think the universe also times these sessions because besides the scheduled appointments, I find that everywhere I go, sessions just happen very organically so. Even if I'm on holiday, I'm at the airport lounge, I found that I did a session for an air hostess who's always been in touch with me after that about how so many things have started unfolding. I was in New York at my cousin's house, and suddenly I had a whole lot of his friends streamlined for appointments. And this Bulgarian guy, who's never experienced energy consciously, as we may say, actually told me that this is the closest to nirvana that I've got. He experienced levitation, complete levitation on the reconnective healing bed, when he couldn't even feel the bed beneath him.
So Jalpa came to New York, I think about 2.5 years ago. And that was the first time I experienced reconnection and reconnective healing. Before those vibrations, I do recall that I used to be quite lethargic, again not in my work life, which was very important to me, but outside of that I was constantly just in sort of a recharge mode, so I wouldn't do much. After that I do recall that I switched my lifestyle again. I wasn't conscious, must have been subconscious, because that I'm recalling all this now. And I started going out, I started taking walks in the park, I started exercising a little bit more outdoors. I think that is one of the effects of the reconnection and the reconnective healing.
Reconnective healing has contributed to my growth as a person and as a soul. When I had my reconnective healing and the reconnection done in 2010, I was in the middle of a legal case. Whatever was redundant in my life dissipated effortlessly, creating space, so much space for new experiences, for joyful experiences, and many pathways opened up. Even now, when I'm doing the sessions as a practitioner, I think with every session there's a renewal and a growth for me. There have been such a wide spectrum of people from different backgrounds whom we've had the opportunity to do sessions for. And I think it's been most beautiful when you sometimes go into an ICU and there's somebody asked to come in to do a reconnective session for a relative, and then you have all the people in the ICU looking at you. And actually we know and we understand that these frequencies cannot be withheld. They're actually transmitting to the entire area. So it's beautiful when you're using these in hospitals and police stations, even space clearing in large public areas, because everyone is getting activated.
My wife was very serious. उसे एक बहुत ही खतरनाक बीमारी हुई थी। मायोपैथी करते थे, उसके पूरा डिसीज डाउन हुआ था, कुछ भी नहीं। She was 6 months on ventilator। लेकिन तभी जब एडमिट किया पूना में केम हॉस्पिटल में, बहुत सीरियस थी, आईसीयू में थी, लेकिन तभी भी हमारी जल्पा मैडम ने वहाँ आके हॉस्पिटल में आईसीयू में 3 बार हीलिंग की। तभी परेशानी में मैं फ़ोन करता रहता था मैडम को, और मैडम वहाँ से लॉन्ग डिस्टेंस रिकनेक्टिंग हीलिंग करती थी। उसका भी असर बहुत दिखाई देता था डॉक्टर्स को कि अचानक इम्प्रूवमेंट हो रहा था। तो उन्होंने भी कई बार अपने ऑफिस से मुंबई से पूना के हॉस्पिटल में लॉन्ग डिस्टेंस रिकनेक्टिंग हीलिंग किया था। इसका बहुत अच्छा इफेक्ट मिला मुझे। तो उसमें जो इम्प्रूवमेंट होने लगा, एक्चुअली डॉक्टर तो कहते थे कोई चांसेस नहीं है, लेकिन मैडम के हीलिंग के बाद आईसीयू में 6 महीने बाद थोड़ी सी कॉन्शियस हो गई, 3 महीने बाद में 6 महीने बाद पूरे अपने पैरों पे चल के घर में आ गई। और एक हीलिंग का ही असर था, बिल्कुल हीलिंग का ही असर था, क्योंकि डॉक्टर ने भी पूरी उम्मीद छोड़ी थी। लेकिन इट्स अ मिराकल। डॉक्टर्स ने न्यूज़ में भी दिया था कि इट्स अ मिराकल, क्योंकि दवाई से तो ये डिसीज जाने वाला नहीं था। आई एम श्योर दैट इट वाज a healing effect.
I recently did a session for a young child, and the mother was worried about how this child is going to sit through. And through the half an hour that she was here at the gallery, she was just running around the gallery and playing, and I was, playing along. It was amazing, and we were playing with the frequencies, and she was like, "Why are you tickling me?" And she just kept giggling. Amazing. Cosmic Heart Gallery's journey lies in touching the innate sense of creativity of every person whose path we touch, bringing in beautiful gifts from the world of art, sound and reconnective healing into people's lives.
Reconnective healing. Well, it's such an incredible science, and it's incredible because it's independent of religious orientations, and that's the need of the hour, especially for me, because I come from a country like India, which has so many diverse religions and cultures. I was introduced to this amazing science by a very gifted healer, Jalpa, and I remember my first session with her. I felt so energized. I think the very act of being still and being in touch with your feelings itself is such a leap in healing. It's all thanks to Jalpa's healing. It's all thanks to the reconnective healing science. I think it's the time for everybody in the world to come together. It's any science that gets you closer to the healing mechanism you're gifted with. I think you must most dive into it. So talk about it, promote it, and most importantly, practice it. I think we are all born healers. We heal our parents when we're born, just like my daughter Samaya is healing me and my husband effortlessly. So go ahead, you are a healer and you can change the world.
My sister Toril and myself are both certified foundational practitioners of reconnective healing and reconnection certified practitioners. We are both very committed to this work, and with this Global Awareness Day, it's given us a wonderful opportunity to share and hear the stories of so many practitioners worldwide. And for the rest of you out there, I invite you to join us and come and experience this beautiful world of reconnective healing.